forget to put a shirt on again. Hold on, chat. I don't want to get banned. Oh, no. I've been outside for about an hour now, probably 2. I think, I put it on backwards. Dang it. Hold on, chat. It's one of those older tank tops that don't have a tag anymore. My neighbor, my lovely neighbor, Ivy, when her husband died, she gave me a lot of his clothes. So I wear them. Rest in peace, Carlos. Let me turn off the headphones. Put those in the bag, actually. For some reason, my live streams don't like headphones. I think they sound better, but they always do worse whenever we have headphones on. So, woke up. I slept wrong on my shoulder, so let's wait for a couple people to join. I got a few interviews. That's why I got the haircut and the beard's all trimmed up and stuff, if anyone's wondering. That's what all that's about. We're going to do a little story time today. I think it's story time. I feel like doing a story time. Today's a really good day. I woke up to an interview a couple days ago, and that's going to be on Monday. It's for a grocery store called Aldi's. I got a doctor's appointment that day, a little checkup and stuff, part of my license thing. And then I got 2 more interviews, hopefully. One is confirmed. It's the next day. It's at Chipotle. That'll be for full time. It's right by the house, so I'll just be making like burritos and stuff all day. And then my 3rd interview is at Pizza Hut for morning prep. So I'd just be like, getting everything ready and stuff. Probably helping out once in a while with making pizzas. And that's absolutely fine. I don't have a confirmed time, but they sent me an email and a text saying I'm moving on to the next step and that they have a busy schedule, so that they couldn't give me an exact time when that 3rd interview will be, but that's coming up here shortly. But for sure, we have 2 interviews next week, confirmed times and dates. 8 in the morning on Monday at Aldi's, 2 o'clock on Tuesday, the day after, at Chipotle. So we're getting there, guys. We're getting there, And then I'll let you guys know when the 3rd interview, when I get a confirmed date and time for that. So, I just want you guys to know I'm trying. I said as soon as I'm done with my classes, and I just finished my last class, 20 classes. I told you guys once I finish up my classes, it's time to get it together. And I told you guys that I'm feeling something good coming on, and my feeling was right, so I got some interviews lined up. It was just hard having those classes because, I had to do those. I started out doing 3 a week, and then it dropped down to 2. And with all the storms and moving on foot or on a bike, it just made it really difficult for me to find full-time work. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I'll be investing a lot of money into the channel and better recording equipment, a better phone. That's later on. I want to get the glasses, the smart glasses with the camera. I want to get a nice e-bike and show you guys more stuff around town. And like I said, I want to get my driver's license by the end of this year so we can, get a nice van and drive around and chat. So, what's up, everybody? What's up, Clayton? Yes, sir. Yummy pizza. Hey, I wouldn't mind working at the Pizza Hut. I'm looking forward to all of these because it's the highest paying. How you doing? Good. How are you? And, they're starting out at 18 an hour. And Chipotle is like 14 an hour, I believe. So, hey, if you want to pay me to make some burritos, I'm cool with that. And if you want to pay me to make pizza all day, I'm cool with making pizza too. So, that's awesome. I like the 13s, man. Yes, sir. Yeah, he's got some Jordans on. So, am I in the way? All right, so anyways, let you guys see the ducks. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's a nice day. We're heading to the park right now. We're gonna go hit some pull-ups. I got a new bench. One of my neighbors 2 streets away, I guess it's not a neighbor, he's moving out the house and he threw away a bench set, so it was in decent shape. It's missing a bolt, but we can work around that. And I got to get some clamps for the weights, so he said he couldn't find those. So he gave me like 70 pounds in weights, and then it's got a bar, and I got the seat and stuff for it. So it's not a lot of weight, but it's a start, and I could at least tone up a little bit with that. And I could do some squats maybe with it, and I could work a little bit upper body with it too. Like, what do you do? What do you call those things when you're squatting and you pick up the weight and put it in the air, and then you drop it back down? You know, I could do stuff like that with it. So I plan on doing that. And then I can do curls with it. So I think 70, so it's 70 pounds in weights. And I don't like uneven weights, so it's 7-10 pound weights. I would just do the 60. And then the weight of the bar is probably like 5 or 10 pounds, maybe 15. So curling that's going to be great for biceps. We're going to get a good tone out of that. So looking forward to using that. And we're getting a decent amount of people in here, so I say let's start our story time. So I'm at Union Work Camp. It's still like my first year in prison, and we get a new colonel. He was like one of the lieutenants or something like that, or whatever is under the colonel, the white shirt. He was like a lieutenant or whatever, and then got promoted, and that was from another camp. He becomes the colonel for our camp, and it was weird. Like, we all the officers announced to get ready for an announcement. We all had to be lined up at our bunks, and you have to, when there's about to be an announcement, you have to be standing at your bunk in a particular spot next to your bunkie. And you got to have your blues on, you got to have your shirt tucked in, you got to have your ID card on. You got to be like prepared for this, So we're all standing in alignment or whatever, waiting for the colonel to come in, and he just comes in every dorm. And we were standing like this for 15, 20 minutes, just waiting for him to come to our dorm. And he comes in and, introduces himself, and he's all like, things are really about to change around here. All this stuff that I'm hearing about you guys getting all these drops, bringing in all these drugs into my camp and all this and that ends today. And I want you guys to know I will be finding out everything and finding out who's doing what and all this and that. And he's just laying down the announcement, so it's like not even 3 days later, it might have been 3 days, boom, here comes an army. Usually someone's watching, so, they'll yell that 12's coming or a shakedown's coming, so we see everything that's going on. There's like 8 officers. They got 2 dogs, 8 officers, and there's the colonel. And these are officers from another camp, probably across the street. And, they're just marching on in. And so, forgive me, I'm thirsty, I'm sweating good. It's hot out here. And I just lifted a bunch of crap and weights and bench set. I just brought all that. I had to carry all of that stuff like 3 streets back to the house. And it just got me sweating, so, yeah, so here comes the shakedown. Excuse me, they come to our dorm, and they come to the dorm, and they find so much stuff. So basically what happens is we all, he wanted to do everything. So we're all in our boxers. Everyone's in their boxers. Everyone's got to get naked. Everyone's got to get in their boxers. And we all line up in the little living room area. What do you want to call it? TV room, the TV room. So we're all in the TV room, sitting on benches, sitting on the floor. Not everyone can fit in there. and some people are standing. Everybody's in their boxers, and everyone was told to leave their clothes on their bed. And so, that sucks too about prison. It's 100 guys. You're all crowded next to each other. Everyone's sweating hot in Florida, and everyone's pretty much naked. And so we're all in our boxers in the TV room, and the officers find so much stuff. So we had a store man, but he was also selling cigarettes, and he was selling dope in the dorm. And he was paying other people to use their drawers. Like, he'd find other people that were smoking and would just like give them some product or give them some cigarettes to use their bunks as stash spots. And so there was like 4 people alone that went to the box for drugs that wasn't even their stuff. They found like at least 2 ounces of Molly, the mop. They call it the mop. It's like a research chemical, but every time you smoke it, you want to smoke more. So they call it like prison crack. And excuse my language, they found a ton of cigarettes, cartons of cigarettes. There was a guy, he was holding on to a cell phone. He put the cell phone up inside of him, but the cell phone was being used. So what happens is, in prison in Florida, they train the canines to smell heat. So everyone had to get sniffed by the canine. They're trained to find, illicit substances. They're trained to they can find cartons of cigarettes, but they can't find like a cigarette, you know what I mean? The dog's not going to be able to smell one cigarette. And, but he could find a stash of them, If you got like 4 cartons of cigarettes, the dog's going to find it. And so the canine smelt the dude, but the dude's not, wearing any clothes. He's only got his boxers. So, we all get in the showers. Everyone has to get searched, So you got to you got to turn around, spread your butt cheeks. They got to look in your, you know what I mean? And you got to swat and cough. And so this is how prison works, man. And you got no rights. You have to do it. So we're all doing that. We're all, in the prison shower, butt naked, 5 at a time, squat, coughing, whatever. And, well, the canine smelt the one dude, so they pulled the one guy out. And, the guy who had the cell phone was pretty mad, so, he's already talking about it. They made him poop in a bucket. Yes, sir. And one of my neighbors, he had to poop out the cell phone. And, they work ways around things, They got like what's called, I don't think it was a finger phone, but they got finger phones, They're like a little tiny phone. I don't even know how people can use them. But, they'll do that, and then they'll just get like smaller phones, you know what I mean? You'd be amazed at what people are able to sneak inside of a prison. So this guy got caught with a cell phone in his butt. And so, how you doing? Good. It was pretty crazy, man. But nonetheless, they just found everything, man. They tore up all of our bunks. They tore up every freaking bunk. My house was destroyed. They threw my blankets on the floor. They threw my bed sheets on the floor. My pillows all torn up. They took out some of the stuffing in my pillow and just threw it all over the place. Like, they raided the dorm. This was the biggest raid I've seen. The entire dorm just looked like a giant mess of clothes everywhere, folders, blankets, sheets, pillows. They tore open our mattresses. Like, if it was stitched up, they tore the stitches out and just started pulling foam and everything out of your mattress. I had a modified mattress, so I had another mattress inside of my mattress. Like all the foam padding and stuff, they done took all that out, took some of it. I was so mad because I paid for that too, And, It was crazy, man. It was absolutely crazy. I didn't even know, like, which dude it was that was holding the phone at the time, because the other guy that had it just, like, got it not even 2 weeks ago. I'm not really paying attention to that stuff. I'm working out at the, my main focus isn't to figure out who's holding what and who's got this and that, I care about, who do I need to look out for and watch, you know what I mean? That's what I cared about. But I'm busy working 5 days a week. I'm at the rec yard if I'm not working, you know what I mean? I'm showering. I'm hanging out on my bed, making food, eating, and I'm on the tablet, you know what I mean? So my main focus isn't who's holding a cell phone in their butt. But when I figured out who it was they pulled out, I'm like, no freaking way. I was like, that's who it is. And it was one of the gay dudes, man. I'm like, of course it was, Who wouldn't pay a gay dude to put a cell phone in their butt? It's the perfect person who could do it, you know what I mean? So I was like, oh, there it is, But it was crazy, man. So prison's a wild ride, man. The most irritating part is that everyone is in such a bad mood after it. So, you would be mad too if someone just went inside your house and destroyed it. You take time out of your day to, look at this big old truck. You take time out of your day to organize everything a certain way. You clean your bunk, you wipe down your drawers, you organize your folders. They take all your paperwork and throw it all over the place. They didn't do that every time, but this particular time, like, they went through all my folders, my legal work, my paperwork with my charges and my public defender at the time, and they just threw everything all over the place. There's paperwork mixed up with other people's paperwork. There's stuff at my house that doesn't even belong to me. It belonged to one of my neighbors or something. Me and my bunkie stuff is all mixed up together, our papers, our folders. So we're so mad, bro. We're heated. I was surprised the riot didn't start, because if you start acting crazy like that with inmates and you do it to everybody, you do that to a dorm where there's life sentences, there's going to be a riot, you know what I mean? It just doesn't go down like that. At a camp that's not a work camp, you got to remember prisoners run the prison. So that's just how it goes. But yeah, man, everything was a mess. They found so much stuff. Oh, and so they caught someone doing a drop out in Forestry too. They thought they done hit the jackpot on that. This colonel, something Jane, I forgot her name. She was a dyke. She was responsible for everyone in Forestry, which is the dorm that goes to the sawmill and stuff. So all the Charlie dorms, C1, C2, they were getting a lot of cigarettes and stuff dropped off. And they were pretty much the ones running the ice game at the time and the paper dope game at the time. And we had the mop game, and we had a lot of cigarettes. They ain't never catch our cigarettes. They just caught cigarettes that were in the dorm. They caught like 5 cartons. But outside, we still had, in Bowman's shed, there was like 30 cartons of cigarettes. So Dave already had the game on lock. He just liked to keep a big stack, he liked to keep a big pile, so his wife didn't have to always drive and drop off a bunch of cigarettes, he liked to have a big stash, so he'd get like 25 cartons at a time, 25, and we'd go pick them up at the spot in the woods. Not me, I just helped bomb them up. I've only went to the spot, but Dave gets out the truck with Click or whatever, and they'll go grab it. And, it was just real chill. I'd help, and I'd be with them for that particular day. Bowman would tell Rowan that he needed my help with one of the houses, so I would just be with Dave the whole time in the house, and we'd spend like 2 hours literally bombing 25 cartons of cigarettes. And so not bringing them in, but getting them ready, you know what I mean? So other people, it'd be the GDs that were in our work squad, and GDs, like I said, anyone can say whatever they are at the work camp, but that's just how it went. So it'd take about 2 hours, And Dave would give me 5 cigarettes a day, you know, and he'd give me whatever I want, man. Like on the days that we were doing the actual drop, like, so Dave would always give me 5 cigarettes every day because I always had his pack of cigarettes hung somewhere, and I'd roll us up both a cigarette every time he wanted a cigarette. So he gives me 5 cigarettes, and then I'm probably smoking like 3 more with him every single day, you know? And because Dave was a chain smoker, he wanted to smoke like every 45 minutes. So the only time I got a break from rolling cigarettes up, because I'd roll him a cigarette too. And I'd try to have like 2 or 3 extra rolled for him, you know? And so I could just go work out in the rec yard for a couple hours and, you know, be able to do that. So before I do that, I already have a few cigarettes rolled up, and I'm rolling a cigarette every 45 minutes every single day until I left that camp. And that's how I ate every night, you know? But if we were going to go pick up a drop, I mean, it's whatever at that point, you know? I might get a whole pack. I might get a half a pack. What Dave usually would do is, you know, I'd have my 5, but he'd be like, here's an extra 10 or whatever. Go get you some food, you know? And then I'd probably give one of my buddies like 3 of them to bring the rest of them in, you know? So, and I had a stash spot. So what I did was outside, I had a stash spot with a couple of my own packs, you know, that nobody went to. And no one ever touched it either, not one time. And I had my own little stash spot where and I'd wait till I have like a pack and a half or 2 packs, you know. I'd try to do like a pack and a half. I'd make a whole 30 bomb, and then I'd just give someone like 3 cigarettes out of it to bring it in for me. And because I didn't want to do that stuff, bro. I'm not saying I didn't try one time, but I can't do it, bro. You know? And that's me being honest with you guys. I'm not saying I didn't try one time, but I'm just not that guy, bro. You got some guys that can do it, and all shout out to them, because as weird as it sounds, like to bring, you know, that's the only way you're going to be able to smoke and hang out in prison, man, is it has to go in someone's butt. There's no other way. You know, they got scan guns, they strip search you, you have to get naked, they check your pockets, they check your socks, they check your boots. There's no other way. Sometimes, you know, because even if you go to, let's say you're meeting with your girlfriend, right? And she's bringing in something. She still has to give it to you for you to bring in, so you still have to do something. You get what I'm saying? And you got to be real nonchalant about it, too, at some camps, because they really be having officers watch, you know? So, but yeah, man, all in all, it's good vibes. We're already 20 minutes in. You know me, I just like to at least stay on topic for 15 minutes. So it's been a good day. I'm glad I came up on the weights. I am back at home right now. So the only problem I really see is the bench. But once I explain, you know, that, hey, like, I'm going to use this at least every other day, depending on what I'm working out, you know, it's going to get used, and it's going to be able to help, so I don't have to always spend so much time at the park. It's going to be good, you know. So once that's going to take a day or 2, because she's going to say something about, oh, we got so much stuff, it's already, you know, which we really don't. But, you know, the garage is messed up. You got so many bikes and TVs and crap out there. You know, I'm going to have to hear about that probably a good 2 or 3 times, and I think we'll be good with the bench after that. So it is what it is. I see a free bench with 70 pounds in weights. That looks like a way for me to progress. I've been wanting to bench for a while, and the fact that I've really been trying to do these interviews and stuff, I feel like that was God trying to reward me. And I feel like I feel like God's like, I'll take care of you as long as you put in the work. And now that I've been putting in the work, I finished all my classes, I got some interviews lined up. it's all just kind of fallen in line to the fact that God's trying to reward me right now for being on point with my life and my future and my goals, you know. I said I was going to do 20 classes. I did the 20 classes. I just finished my last one. I've been trying to get back in shape, and at least every other day I'm at the park, you know, at least every other day. And even if I'm not at the park, you know, I'm hitting my push-ups and stuff. So this is really going to help out. There's a lot of cars coming, my bad, chat. You know, I'm hitting my push-ups and stuff, but I really haven't had it to, you know, and people give away workout stuff a lot, but it's usually too far. And so the fact this was literally 2 streets over, that's like God trying to tell me something. Like, he's just rewarding me, and I'm thankful. There was a punching bag too, but I only really see me using the punching bag if I was angry. I really want to exert more energy into lifting. I don't want to waste a lot of energy on a punching bag, you know, when I could just be at the bench and lifting the bench, or at the pull-up bar and lifting the pull-up bar. You know what I mean? I'd rather exert more energy into gaining than burning at this stage. So I feel like I wouldn't really use the punching bag that much. And it was a small punching bag. Like, it was like up to here. So really, it was just a good kick. It's good for kicking, you know. It really wasn't a punching bag. It's only going to my waist. So I'm not going to punch that low. You know, if I want a punching bag, I want it to like right here at least, you know. So not really my cup of tea. I don't need to go kickboxing. I mean, it's good to practice that stuff, but I'm trying to hit the bars right now. So let's go hit this pull-up bar. I gotta walk about another half a mile, and I gotta walk about it. I thought he was talking to me. I gotta hit another half a mile, and then we should be there. Soto, what's up, bro? How you doing? You see what's going on? We're out here today. I'm on a street called Embassy right now. Nothing but good vibes today. Nothing but good vibes today. Got me a new bench set. Not new, but new to me. Got me a bench set. Got some weights. Got 3 interviews. About to go hit this workout. Go and feel good. Make some food. I don't know what I'm going to make when I get back. This truck is burning. You should have seen all the smoke that was coming out of that first Dodge Ram. Oh, here it is, smoking good. It's smoking good up there. It's Florida life, man. It's how it goes down over here. Look at all that smoke, burning smoke. That's all smoke up there. He pressing that pedal, pushing the limit on that Dodge Ram. It's probably just a Ram. He had another Ram on the back, and then it looked like some SUV or something, plus that big old trailer. So, you know, it looked like a 3500 Ram. It was a dually, so I'm sure, you know, it's got like 75,000 towing capacity on it, you know what I mean? But I don't know, you're still putting a lot of weight on that engine. Once we get to the stoplight, I gotta make a left. When we get to the stoplight, I gotta make a left and walk about a quarter mile. And then I'm gonna hit some yoga and sit down for a second. And then we're gonna get to the workout. I'm just sweating so much, I gotta rehydrate a little bit first. You know, I only had to walk about 3 streets, but I had to do it a few times. I had to get the weights, so I carried all 70 pounds of weights back the 3 streets. I had 4 in my bag, and then I switched back and forth with 2 in one hand and 1 in the other. And then I had to go get the bench set, and that wasn't heavy, but it was very awkward. And it was missing a piece, so I had to hold the bench set at an angle because the bar would slide out. I didn't want that bar hitting the ground and falling off, because then I had to put the bench down, pick up the bar, put the bar. It's the bar that the seat lays over. Oh, it's a dog. Oh, yo! What the heck, bro? The fuck? Excuse my language. I got a dog just pressing me right now. God dang. Hey, yo. That dog didn't bite me, but you seen it just come up to me like that. God dang, son. Put your dog in the house. It's gonna be pressing me like that. What's up, bro? I was about to throw the phone down. I thought I was about to get attacked by the dog. Ay. I wasn't scared, but I was like, yo, I'm trying to like yell to let the owner know, bro. Like, your dog's pressing me right now. The heck is that? But we're all good. The dog didn't bite me. It came like right up to me though. Like, it came and it like jumped a little bit, but it didn't touch me though. So anyways, you never know what you're gonna get around here. It's Florida life, bro. Yeah, I'm ready to go get a good little workout in, and that's about it. Go home, make some food, lay down for the night. Trying to get my sleep schedule back to normal. I did stay up till like 3 in the morning last night, so that's not good. Because the interview on Monday is at 8 a.m. The interview let me flip the camera. I done flipped the whole camera. The interview is at 8 a.m. on Monday, so I gotta be careful out here. That hasn't happened in a while, but I got one hand holding a water bottle. I got one hand holding a phone. I didn't have no free hand to protect myself from that dog. Luckily, it didn't attack, though. It looked like a nice dog, what was it, a collie or something? I don't think it was a border collie. It was pretty big, but that ain't cool, bro. I definitely flipped the camera to show you guys the dog. I'm such an idiot, bro. I should be over here worrying about protecting myself. I'm over here flipping the camera to show you guys the dog. I'm such an idiot sometimes, dude. That's insane. What if it really was a dangerous dog attacking me and I'm over here trying to like show y'all what's going on? That's insane, bro. I gotta chill out a little bit. Shaking. My hand's shaking. I'm all shook up from that. I'm not scared. I wasn't scared, but my adrenaline's pumping. You know what I mean? Like, there's a difference between fear and then just your adrenaline pumping up and getting ready to be on a guard mode, to be on defense, Being scared would have been like trying to run away and scream and all this and that, but, you can't be afraid of things. But you can get, you will get pumped up. So, my hand's a little shaky, but it's not, it just put me on edge. There's a difference. So, one thing about it, we don't run from nothing, bro. I'm not going to back down. I'm not going to run from nobody, no animal, no dog, no bear, no, it is what it is. If you run from a bear, the bear is going to attack you. So you might as well, at that point, just try to scare the bear off. I don't want to scare the bear off. Nobody wants to scare the bear off. But that's what you have to do. Because more than less, it's just going to run away. So, it is what it is. But on that note, I'm going to try to chill out a little bit, go get this yoga in, and I'm happy I got to talk to you guys. It's a good day, so Let me go get this workout in, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Y'all be safe.